In this tutorial, we're going to learn to edit on the home page. In an earlier tutorial, we did edit this section, a note from Jim Bob, but we're also going to edit the Learn More section. In the Learn More section, we have 8 blurbs right now. Now, you don't have to have that many blurbs. You could have 6 blurbs or 4 blurbs or 2 blurbs. It's up to you. Now let me say a little bit more about these Learn More items here. It would be my opinion that 8 of these is really enough. Also, if you'll look at the alignment of these, notice how this one and this one have about the same amount of lines. What that does is let this line up across this way, which looks better than if this one was shorter than this one. If that was the case, everything would be off a little bit. This one would be lower than this one. So think about that as you're doing your blurbs. Try to do the ones that are across from each other with the same amount of lines, and it's going to look better on the front end. Notice how these are about the same amount of lines, and so forth down the page. Okay, I just wanted to throw that in to help you make your page look a little bit better. But we're going to learn to edit those. So let's get started. Let's go to Edit Page up here on the toolbar. Okay, our page builder modules have been loaded. And before we do any more editing, I want to call your attention to this area right here. It says Save Layout, Load Layout, and Clear Layout. Of course, we don't want to clear this layout because it would mess up our page. But I want to show you here in Load Layout. If I click on that, I have saved every page that we are using on this website. What it means is I've saved that layout, and if at any time you need to go back and just start all over with a page, you want to start with it from the beginning like you received it at first, you can go to this page or to this Load Layout section and you could load it again. I could choose to load this home layout. All right, scrolling down. Now before I go into the blurbs, I'm going to add a little bit of content here that wasn't in my original tutorial. It's very important to get the proper alignment on these blurbs. Let's say the left-hand side alignment. Know that this blurb that I'm pointing to right here, this is blurb 1. Going across, this one is blurb 2. This one is blurb 3. This one is blurb 4. This one is blurb 5. This is blurb 6. This is blurb 7. And this is blurb 8. Now, why am I telling you that? To get proper alignment, these all have some CSS code applied to them. So let me go in and show you where that needs to be. So I'm going to click one time on these 3 bars. Now I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and right here, the CSS class, that first blurb must say blurb 1. There's some CSS code that puts that on the page where it needs to go. So that's blurb 1. If I look into this blurb and scroll all the way down, it must say blurb 2. This blurb should say blurb 3. This blurb should say blurb 4. I think you get the picture, and I'm not going to open up every one of them. But anytime you're editing these blurbs or moving them around, you need to pay attention to the name that's at the bottom of each blurb. And just remember, blurb 1, 2, blurb 3, 4, blurb 5, 6, blurb 7, 8. These blurbs are the Learn More section. I'm going to open up the first one by clicking one time on these 3 bars. Now the title of that first blurb is Visit My Store. Of course, you can change it if you change the information in this blurb. Image, you can go to the web and find any image that you would like to use here, and keep in mind that whatever image you choose, it's going to crop it to about 64 pixels by 64 pixels. So it's really good to try to get a square image, and it's going to look a little bit better. But let me go back up here and show you that you have another option. Instead of using pictures like we've used, you can use icons. So right now we have no, we're not going to use icons. But if I go here and put yes, then I see some icon images that I could use instead. I can scroll through here and look at all the icon images. And I could use one of these if I chose to. Okay, that's just to show you that that's a possibility. I'm going to go back and click on no. And there's my image again. I come to the visual and the text editor, and you can see the text that is there on this blurb. Also, here's a link. Now, if you're going to change anything in this blurb and you're going to link to a different page, all you have to do is highlight the Learn More right here and go up to this symbol. It says Insert or Edit a Link. And here you could paste in a URL if you're going outside our site. And if you're going outside of our site, I would also always recommend you checking this to open it in a new tab. Or if you want to link somewhere on our site, here's a list of our pages. Now you won't have all these tutorial pages in yours. That's just for mine. But you could go and you could pick any page here that you would like to link to within our site and add that link. Once again, let's look at the HTML code by clicking this text button. And you can see that that link in HTML code looks like that. All right, if you make any changes to this blurb, then I would suggest you save. I'm not going to make any changes, and so I just closed it. But you would do that to each of your blurbs. And I would suggest that if you are going to make changes to these blurbs, that you copy the text that's on each blurb and paste it somewhere so that if you decide to go back to one of these blurbs, you can do that. Just like we do the code, you can paste it in TextEdit or in Notepad and then come back and if you want to, reinsert them sometimes. Remember, when you edit a module, you must save it. And then when you're ready to go live with your changes, you must click the update button. But if you would like to view the page before you updated it, before you went live with it, you would click the Preview Changes button. And when you did that, it would take you to the front end and you could look at your page before you actually update it and go live with it.